Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Who What Wine Pair. Today we're talking about all things Thanksgiving, one of my favorite times of year. We have an incredible winemaker here with us today. Evan, thanks for joining us again.
Thank you.
It's great to have you.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. I'm very excited to talk about Thanksgiving and this incredible line of diamond wines. So what's your favorite part about Thanksgiving, or what does Thanksgiving mean to you?
Well, I mean, I'd say half of it's the food, and the other half is probably family.
Yeah.
So I think it means enjoying the whole day and watching some football and have some just nice meal.
Yeah. Oh boy, I don't think I could add anything to that.
Yeah.
Football, family, and food, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can't go wrong there. I know this is sort of towards the tail end of our harvest. I guess we're all in right now.
Yeah.
And I love to hear about the successes of this challenging harvest.
Right.
Can you share with the viewers out there a little bit about our harvest this year?
Well, I'd say every harvest has its own challenges, but this one is in particular in California was a little bit hard because of like a lot of natural events. And so I'd say overall, yeah, we're really thankful that we're all in right now. It went really well. You know, we all say that when harvest is over, it seems like a blur, right? It's just like this flurry of activity. And yeah, this harvest, yeah, we saw some great fruit come in. We had a lot of the varietals kind of shine through. So yeah, nothing to complain about there. I'd say that there's a lot of work still to be done.
Okay.
A lot of people think that once harvest is over, it's done. It's like, no. You still you got a lot of things to do before it actually goes to the customer. So yeah, but it was a good one. So
okay, awesome. When will we be able to test the first wines?
You already want it. Okay.
I'm chopping at the bit here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, if it's a white wine that doesn't need oak, you could have that months later. So I'd say the first bottlings of rosé, which is no oak, and Pinot Grigio and Sauvignon Blanc and things like that. We could probably be bottling those in the next couple months. So you probably see them like in the first quarter.
Excellent. Can't wait to try it.
2021.
Oh man, that's awesome. Can't wait to try it.
Yeah.
That is terrific. Well, like you were saying, Thanksgiving for me and as a chef, it's all about the food, and it's all about family and it's comfort food, and a lot of the food today we're taking a real classical route, family style, kind of old family recipes, and everything's sort of done at this point, just sort of holding hot in our makeshift hot oven over here, just like it may be. And I encourage people to do that, really. You don't want to be sweating over the stove the whole time. You want to, cut a few corners and, keep some things hot and really enjoy each other's time. So I hope everybody out there has a fantastic Thanksgiving, and thanks for joining us.
Sure.
Let's jump right in.
Sure.
Chef Morrow over here looks like he's just pulling our beautiful turkey out of the oven right now. This is amazing. That looks so good.
How do I get one of those patches?
These ones?
Yeah.
That's going to cost you. That's going to cost you.
I want one of those.
We're going to have to put all of our best people on this one. Thank you, Chef. That is beautiful. You'll notice this turkey maybe doesn't look exactly how you would picture it to look. This bird was cooked upside down.
Oh.
Ultimately result in an ultra moist breast meat, which is really, really delicious. So it's been in there, for 4 or 5 hours or so, sort of slowly cooked, allowing that fat and juice to sort of just render and just become really happy.
If you're cooking at home, like what's that ratio that you're supposed to do per pound? Like how many minutes per pound?
That's a good question. I don't know that off the top of my head.
Really, it's like you have to have like that dialed in for each oven or whatever, right? So like I don't know. That's something I've always kind of like had to Google.
Yeah. I should have been prepared with that.
No. That's good.
The meat will certainly take on a different appearance as it cooks. A lot of times they come with those little pop-up things, which are helpful.
Right.
And then if you do have a probe thermometer, you want to insert that usually into the sort of thickest part of the thigh, is the last part to cook. And you want to take this to 165 degrees internally, and so that could mean pulling it out maybe as early as 155, and then it'll carry up that next 10 degrees as it waits.
Sure.
Or as it rests. So definitely you don't want to carve this too early and let all those juices go. But this is one technique on how to cook a turkey, and there's really many. What I like doing recently is when I get the turkey in, then I butcher it, I take the legs off, and then I take the breasts off before the day. And now I have this beautiful carcass. And what I do is I make the stock from that carcass.
Sure.
So I'll roast it and simmer it overnight with carrots, celery, and onions, and bay leaves, and peppercorns, and thyme, and just sort of slowly simmer that stock. That way, when you go to make gravy and stuffing and all those kinds of things the following day, you have this gorgeous homemade stock. And then you can cook your legs and cook your breasts differently because they react differently, right?
Right.
The legs there's a very used muscle, and it's got great intramuscular fat. We all know turkey breast can be a little lean. So, you know, there's really a million ways to cook this work, but I'm really producer, mastermind.
Do you typically like make like way more than you need for whatever that meal is, and then you have like turkey whatever, like turkey sandwiches, turkey this, turkey that?
Oh, it's all about the sandwiches, all kinds of things. Yeah, that's cool. All right, well, let's get started. I want to start with green bean casserole.
Okay.
Now, this is sort of that old school canned green beans, canned cream of mushroom soup, a little soy sauce, and topped with those little French fried onions. Now, you know, I don't really remember having this on my table growing up, but my wife recently, or not recently, since we've been together, this is something that she likes to do.
Great.
So
let's try it.
It's a great dish. I really, really like it. So let's see if I can find it in here.
We either have like either green beans like straight up, or we'd have like green beans with like some like shaved almonds.
Okay, yeah.
You know, and like it was a little bit of like vinegar in it and stuff like that. Yeah, it kind of like that. Yeah, we had that.
That looks good, huh?
Yeah.
Look at that. Nice and creamy. Let me dish a little bit of this up for you. Now, you know, most weeks when we do this, you know, there's definitely some challenges, I think, for the winemaker from my perspective. You know, how is he ever going to pair this, or how is she going to take this? So we've got some, I think, some challenges for you today.
Oh, great.
So
love it.
I'm looking forward to seeing what you think.
Okay. Well, this is a good problem to have, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That is true. So what are you guys going to be doing for the holidays? Just kind of keeping it low key at the house?
Yeah, low key. I mean, there's a we're doing testing before we get together, and
nice.
we're doing you know, quarantine stuff before. So it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
I talked to some people on our team, and they're having it outdoors. We're gonna. I don't know. If it's nice weather like this, we might be outdoors.
Definitely. Yeah, it's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So.
Yeah. I love that. I love these little fried onion things. They are just so delicious.
So creamy.
Yeah, definitely getting the sort of unctuous earthiness of the mushrooms. Certainly there's a lot of richness involved, you know, with that creaminess and the fried onions on top. So what are you thinking for a wine? I know vegetables for me or vegetable forward dishes, and we'll I think have a real challenging one for you later. You know, tend to be difficult for me to think of because that sort of vegetable flavor.
Sure.
What are you thinking?
Well, if I'm going to pair it up like kind of apples to apples, I kind of want to start with our cans. So we right here we have a whole lineup for you. We have our diamond wines on display. Over here we have basically white wines and some rosés, and over here we have a bunch of reds. So we actually have a diverse portfolio to pull from, and so that's great news because if you're going to throw a lot of stuff, then out there to match, we probably have something in our portfolio to go with it. And right now, though, I want to start with cans. Cans are up here. We have a Sauvignon Blanc, a Chardonnay, a Pinot Noir. To play with. Nice. So for this, I mean, it's very creamy. It does like have the vegetable notes that you say. So I think the most logical thing to do is probably start with the Sauv Blanc. So you need your own serving.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and just hand this to you.
Okay,
and these
great.
ones, like I recommend, because they're very travelable. I mean, you can have a picnic.
Yeah.
You can have them just in a glass. You can have all the different ways.
Yeah.
I personally just like to pop the can and just go for it.
Me too. I'm with you on that one.
So like I'm gonna say Sauvignon Blanc just because Sauvignon Blanc naturally has some thiols and some green bean, green characters to it.
Cool.
That are in the kind of layered in.
Okay.
We do a California one, so it's basically has a lot of tangerines and melons as well, so it has a lot of
nice.
fruit.
Okay.
But I think this is probably a logical answer. There is a lot of kind of creamy fat and like fried, kind of like caramelized sugar in the dish, which kind of like makes me say, okay, maybe you can get a Chardonnay as well. So that was, so I was thinking maybe Chardonnay or Sauvignon Blanc to go after the vegetables.
Yeah.
So for this one, I think that let's just go ahead and save the Chardonnay for something else, and let's just go with Sauvignon Blanc right now.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Nice acidity here too on the Sauvignon Blanc, huh?
Yeah, and that helps it pair with food because it cuts through the fat. Because there's a lot of kind of like a lot of heaviness to the cream and everything. So that seems like it matches up.
Yeah, boy, I think that's going to work really, really well.
Yeah,
That's
it's a good opener. I mean,
that's a great way to start.
you can have them super cold like this, like on ice, and they pair with a lot of things.
I love that. That's so cool. Excellent pairing.
Cool.
How do you like the green beans?
I love them. I mean, actually, yeah. I mean, it reminds me of what we used to have. We used to have like the almonds, kind of like really like a dominant part of the dish. This kind of strikes me as more of like kind of balanced. Like it has like a little bit of fat and everything kind of mixed together.
Yeah.
So it's really kind of like just nice and thick and hearty.
Yeah,
So I like it.
definitely. Awesome. Fantastic. Great. Well, we're off to a good start.
Cool.
I love that. You got a spot for your plate over there? All right.
Are we going over there?
No, I might as well
Okay.
take it. I can take it for you.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Chef.
Yeah, my pleasure. Boy, that is a good start, and really one of my favorite Thanksgiving dishes of late is that green bean casserole.
Sure.
Do you have a favorite Thanksgiving dish? That's a hard one. That's a loaded question, there.
Well, first off, I like dark meat.
Yeah,
Let's just get that out of the way.
There are two kinds of people in the world, right?
Dark meat or white meat. I mean, like, because I just don't like the dryness that you can get sometimes. But you mentioned that you did face down or
Yes.
a chest down on this.
Yeah.
And so like that would probably alleviate that. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have an open mind. It's just historically
Yeah.
I've had like dark meat. So I'd say that and the combination with maybe cranberry sauce.
Ooh, your cranberry sauce. Okay.
Cranberry sauce and turkey is like is probably the point. And then I would say beyond that, I'd say I really like to have some kind of green bean.
Definitely.
And I like to have, thinking about the other thing is dessert.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
Pumpkin pie.
Yeah, it's a toss-up. I mean,
Yeah.
pumpkin cheesecake.
Ooh.
If you have that, like, I'm done. If you got that, like, yeah, man.
That sounds incredible.
And maybe almond, pecan pie.
Oh yeah, I forgot about pecan pie.
Pecan pie guy.
Yeah, that is. Oh, me too.
Then definitely apple pie with vanilla scoop of ice cream.
Oh yeah, so good.
Yeah. So those are probably the things that jumped to mind. I really like the the potatoes that are kind of like sliced. I don't know what you would call that. Like
a gratin. kind
Yeah,
of thing?
exactly.
Layered up.
Yeah, I like those.
All right. Well, we are in for a serious treat right here with this gravy. So this was a stock that I had been making a couple days leading up to our event here.
Okay.
That I reduced way down. So you really concentrate the flavors of that stock. And then I thickened it up just with a little bit of roux, which is butter and flour. And that's basically it. Finished it with a little bit of butter. So that gravy, I love gravy.
Wow.
I love gravy. Gravy on turkey or mashed potatoes.
Do you like, when you're adding the salt, do you kind of like just taste it and keep going, like just pinch here, pinch there? Or do you have like a set thing?
No, pretty much. You know, I always try to season it at the very last second.
Right.
Just because when you're reducing something, if you reduce it so far, that salinity can kind of shoot through the roof. So you kind of get it where it needs to be, and then at the last minute.
Wow.
But you can see it's really unctuous. There's a lot of gelatin in that gravy, just from all that reduction of the stock.
I don't know. I think if somebody didn't even like potatoes or mashed potatoes, they'd probably like this. It's super good. It reminds me of like a combination of like the essence of the turkey with it, and then the butter and the creaminess, like very, very soul warming.
Yeah, that's nice. True. Yeah, that is definitely a soul warming dish.
I mean, if you're asking me like what my dishes that I think of, yeah, the potatoes are in there.
Yeah.
So whatever form you like them in.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. With my Irish roots, I'll take a potato any way I can get it.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking? What are you thinking for something?
The butteriness reminds me of like a full malolactic Chardonnay. So I think I'm probably gonna go there.
Okay.
Because Chardonnay is known for having like, typically for a white wine on the higher end of oak.
Okay.
It tends to have a little bit more of like a creaminess and like a full, like a mouth coating effect.
Okay.
So I think I'll do that. Let me grab you some glasses here.
Yeah,
Get
cool.
some weapon of
now
choice.
tell me what it means by malolactic.
Oh, malolactic. So I'm referring to basically a process where there's malic acid in the wine as it comes in as juice.
Okay.
And part of the winemaking process is to convert all the sugar into alcohol and then convert all of the malic acid into lactic acid.
Oh, so malic acid into lactic.
It converts.
Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
it converts by a bacteria. And so when I say full malolactic, it means that all of the malic acid has been converted over to lactic acid, which is, so it goes from like an apple. So malic acid is the dominant acid in apples.
Okay.
And then lactic acid is more of like a cheese. So it's more soft and mouth coating.
Oh,
so here, try, this is our Diamond Chardonnay here.
Okay.
Looks like we're on the 18th inch here.
Okay.
However, that being said, like we went to a screw cap on this, which is really nice, really kind of easy, food friendly.
Yeah.
Diamond Chardonnay is one of the core of our program. You notice all of our wines are color coded.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So you can kind of pick them off the shelf, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, if you look for the gold label here, it's definitely a crowd pleaser. So it tends to have like of the diamond whites, it tends to have like a little higher oak tone.
Okay.
So it kind of reminds me of this dish. Like it has that more of that kind of this mouth coating, honeysuckle, melons, tangerines. Has a little bit of kind of a little bit of butter on the finish.
Boy, that's a fantastic wine.
And yet it's still crisp, and it has enough acid to kind of carry through and match up with the meals. So definitely versatile. Chardonnays in the market is one of the most popular varietals for a good reason.
Yeah.
It's not, it's approachable. It's not like overly, like something like a Sauvignon Blanc or something like that. And it's not like, it's just not left field, right? It's just right down the middle. So it's good call.
That is delicious. And what do you think with the potatoes?
The potatoes, I think it matches up, definitely.
I think that is incredible. It's funny to pair different wines with all these different, like maybe a side. But for those watching at home, if mashed potatoes is kind of your thing, then it would be maybe great to have this with some of the other things on your table as well.
Yeah, and when I think about when I'm pairing wine in general, like you're trying to have the intensity of the food match the intensity of the wine so that they don't mask each other. So with this one, because this Chardonnay is a little bit heavier, I was trying to look for a white wine that was creamy, that was going to be as robust enough to handle the strong, kind of like heavy characters you get in the potato.
Oh man, I love that. You taught me that before.
Yeah.
That's the intensity of the wine.
Yeah, it's just
It's a cool way to think about it. Beautiful sort of fall colors on that bottle too. That would look great on the Thanksgiving table. Definitely. And all these wines, the cans, all these wines and more available on our website, right? Thefamilycoppola.com.
Yeah, definitely.
Head over there, check it out. We have such a great lineup and amazing variety of wines.
Yeah.
Something and multiple things for everybody.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I can guarantee you're going to find something, Chef.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. Boy, that is good. Boy, we were off to a good start. Oh wow, that is fantastic.
There's this shirt. I don't know who has it, but there's a shirt that I've seen. It says, "I like to cook with wine, and sometimes I actually, put it in the food." I should have gotten that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Okay, here is the turkey. This is a beautiful bird. This is the back of it. So here's the spine right here. This would be the top. This would be the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and just flip it over. I guess what you lose with cooking the turkey this way is, maybe a little crispiness on the skin, right? But do those turkeys ever really get crispy? If you're very, very, very careful, you can certainly get a crispy skin, but it's challenging to do so. So this is, a fun way to, sacrifice a little crispiness of that skin. You still get the skin for the people that like it in this form, and but the breast meat just comes out so more, which we'll be able to try here in a moment. So I usually pick which knife I'm going to do a task with, depending on the size of what I'm going to be working on. So yeah, this is a huge turkey. Okay. Right?
What is that like? Is that like 22 or what is that?
That's probably a pretty good guess.
Looks like a big guy.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Girl.
That is a big one. Not the one that got parted. So I'm going to actually just carve it while it's in here. And I have a glove just so my hand doesn't go sliding around too much, and we don't have a sink here to properly hand wash. So I'm just going to sort of loosen up this leg a little bit, right? And I'm just going to follow the natural joint here. And this bird is just...
Oh, it's just coming apart. That's good. It's done.
Yeah, it's definitely...
It's done.
Yeah, it's definitely done and tender. Oh my gosh, Evan, yeah, that's going to be a beautiful bird.
So that's my leg? So what are you going to eat?
We may have to call this early. Here's a turkey wing, which is excellent. And now we're going to carve the breast meat off this, and then we'll land the breast meat on the cutting board, and then I'll do some slices from there. So there's a breastplate here, and then the, what do they call that, the wishbones up here.
Yeah, there is.
So I just want to take my knife and ride it right down that breastplate, right? And just kind of begin to remove it. And this could have rested maybe a little longer, but that's the other nice thing about this preparation is you can carve it without having it rest.
Like if someone has like an electric carver, would you like poo-poo them? Would you be looking down your nose at them?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I have a friend who is who's a fisherman, and like myself, and he butchers all of his fish with his electric knife.
Oh, nice.
I mean, he is a big-time believer in those electric knives. He bought me one time, and it's still in the box. But
it's still in the box.
Yeah, maybe one of these days I'll bust that out. So here we have this beautiful breast removed. So I'm probably just going to use this little knife right like this.
That looks beautiful.
Yeah, nice and moist. Beautiful turkey. Now this turkey was brined. So brining turkeys is something I definitely would suggest, right? It's just soaking a protein usually in a solution of water, salt, and sugar, and any other kind of spices you would like. Now what that does is just imparts, instead of just seizing the outside of something, it allows that salt and that sugar to really penetrate into the meat, and you get this great salinity and sweetness coming through in your meat. So I love doing it with shrimp. If you haven't had brine shrimp before, that's delicious. Or turkey, chicken, those kinds of things. So I encourage people out there to try it.
Sure.
And anybody out there, tell us what you like cooking for Thanksgiving. How do you like to cook your turkey? And how are we doing so far?
Well, so let's say hypothetical here. Let's say somebody called you up or whatever, and you didn't have time to walk them through the whole thing.
Yes.
Where would you point them to like go online to find like a good recipe for turkey? Because there's so much like stress and pressure. Like, is there like I don't know, like America's Test Kitchen, or is there some kind of place that you'd recommend?
That's a good question.
Or Food Network or something?
I would recommend sort of casting a wide net.
Yeah.
And getting some information from a number of different places.
Just kind of look around.
And then sort of distill it down into what makes sense for you is probably what I would suggest.
Right.
You know, because certain people like to do certain things a certain way, or maybe they're limited in their kind of equipment.
Or maybe they're going to be judged by their family.
Exactly. So this will help all that right there.
Cool. Well, this looks fantastic.
Yeah. So here we go. Now let's do a little plate up here. I'm going to put a little more mashed potatoes on here, and we'll do a little bit of cranberry sauce.
Okay.
Have you always liked cranberry sauce?
No. I mean, because the thing about that is like sometimes it's like super sweet, right? And some of it's like super like bitter.
Right.
And I think when I was really young, I didn't like the bitterness.
That's a hard one for young kids.
Yeah, it's like, because I don't know what it is. But basically, I think you kind of grow into it.
Right.
Because like there's so much sweetness and like there's so much fat in the dishes and stuff. And like if you have something that's super acidic like cranberries and like you have something that has a little bit of bitterness, it balances out some of that sweet character. And so I kind of grew into it, and like, I had the ones where you kind of slice it like it's out of a can, had those. Had the ones where it's actually whole cranberries and everything in between. But like, I'd say like your standard sauce that's kind of like right down the middle is something I'd be going for. Like nothing that like is like over the top sweet, but not like super, super, super bitter.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely didn't start out that way. I'd say probably like maybe in my teens, I started,
appreciating those bitter flavors, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those cranberries can be tricky. Mm-hmm. Seems like you have to add a little bit of, definitely have to add a little bit of sugar to it.
Yeah.
So here we have a little bit of mashed potatoes, this gorgeous turkey, that a little bit of dark meat and breast meat, and then we're going to just put a little bit of cranberry sauce, which I think would really affect how the wine you would choose. Although this one is not overly bitter, it's pretty well balanced. So.
Well, I'm armed. I'm ready.
You're ready to go, huh? That looks like a nice plate of Thanksgiving. This is like this whole episode right now is just getting me fired up for Thursday. Next Thursday.
I'm gonna feel like I did this, well, I guess I did literally do it twice. But.
All right, let's try this.
Let's try the food. Mm-hmm. It's so tender. It's just like kind of like coming apart there.
Mm-hmm. That breast is really moist.
Oh yeah.
Even in that thick cut, I find it really nice and moist. Great seasoning on it. Mm-hmm.
You gave me two. They gave me a little bit of white and a little bit of dark. Mm-hmm. That's good. Mm-hmm. The whole spectrum.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I'm gonna have to go for a run.
That's true. We'll do this from 2 to 3, and then we'll run for 3.
I'll meet you on the trail or whatever, on the street. Do some trail running or whatever.
An hour of eating on this program, which would probably run about 4 or 5 hours, huh?
Yeah. The cranberry sauce is nice too. It's not like, it's right down the middle. Like it's not super bitter or super sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Crowd pleaser. Oh wow.
Yeah, that's good altogether, isn't it?
I think one of the things I used to do, one of the things I used to do is I used to like, have like one food and then like eat the other food and then eat the other food. You know how people like divide their like plates?
I have one of those that live with me, Evan.
Oh really? But for this one, it's like, well, all together, like it's like a symphony.
Yeah,
it's like rather like listening to an orchestra instrument by instrument, or do you want to listen to the orchestra as a whole? Yeah. In this particular case, where you have the cranberry sauce, the two different types of cuts of turkey, plus the mashed potatoes and the gravy, it's like, wow.
I love that. Yeah, it's really greater than the sum of its parts, huh?
Yeah.
When all those notes come together and start hitting just right.
Yeah, and so I'm immediately kind of gravitating towards Pinot Noir, because the flavors are kind of delicate and there's a lot going on there, and we basically have 2 to choose from, right? So for the diamond line and our diamond golden tier, we have this. You should notice the netting here.
Yeah.
So the netting, we have the Claret's our flagship wine. We're really proud of it.
Yeah.
Been doing it for a long, long time, like 20 years, and
And that's a Bordeaux blend?
It's a Bordeaux blend. It's
Okay.
Cabernet based,
Okay.
and it's very, very nice, recognizable. It's kind of like the go-to wine that everybody kind of knows.
Wow.
And then from there, though, also we're displaying a Pavilion, which is Chardonnay, and then also an Oregon Pinot, which is a newer of the Diamond family.
Okay.
So that's a Pinot that we could possibly do. And then the other one we have here is actually a screw-capped Diamond regular Pinot with non-golden tier, but so you know, you can see the netting is one great example of how to differentiate the two on the shelf.
Yeah.
And then obviously the color. But the big thing though, since they're sourced different places, you have Oregon, right, which is its own flavor profile, and then you have California. So in general, I would say that California wines, they tend to be a little bit more intense on the red berry, more of like maybe a slightly higher alcohol, and they have to be a little bit bolder. And there's a lot of bold flavors here. So for that reason, I think I want to go with the Cabernet that has a little bit more of that jammy red fruit, as opposed to the Oregon, which is also just great, but it also has to tends to be like more kind of like a nuanced, and it has a little bit more of a, I don't know, like a nuttiness or an earthiness into it that tends to be a little bit more kind of hearty. So let's go with this one right here.
Cool.
So this is our Diamond.
Okay.
Looks like we got an 18 vintage here for you.
Excellent.
Silver label. And I got some
Another
glasses.
beautiful color.
Yeah.
Love that screw top. Yeah, that's nice.
And then one of the goals for the Diamond wines is to have something that's on your table that you can really count on. And I don't know about you, but like if I'm having something like, you know, a bunch of people over for Thanksgiving, or maybe this year, maybe you don't have that many people coming over, right, with this, because of the times, but at least you want something you can count on.
Yeah.
So I'd say that that's kind of what, when I think of Diamond, that's what I think of. I think something you can count on. So
Excellent.
cheers.
Thank you, Evan.
Take this.
That's amazing.
Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers. Oh, wow.
So yeah, the aroma is very kind of powerful. Reminds me of cranberries. Reminds me of kind of those cherry berries.
Concentrated. Oh, boy.
Acidity, crisp, fresh. Definitely has a little bit of the oak is kind of layered in the background, and yet maybe a little bit more intense than some other brands. So I think that it's also versatile. I love Pinot myself, so I think it's a good choice for this.
Oh boy, that's a spectacular choice. Wow.
Yeah.
Our guests,
That works.
Our viewers out there should definitely be drinking some of this with their turkey. This is absolutely stunning. What a pairing.
Cool.
Oh my gosh. That is just fantastic.
There you go. Thank
Thank you, Evan.
How much room do I have to save?
Well, only 12 or 15 more courses.
Only 15 more courses, okay.
Yeah, we tend to not pace ourselves on these shows. Just got to go for it. All right. So now we're going to move on to another one of our employee friends here, family recipe. This is for a stuffing, which, do you like stuffing?
I do, but like I really like, I don't know, do you like oyster stuffing? Because I really like that.
Ooh.
So I like oyster stuffing,
cool.
and like but traditionally, like also it's kind of like this cranberry thing, where like initially I wasn't a stuffing person, like when I was like a little kid, and then as I got older, I kind of grew into it. Okay. So yeah, I can say yes now. I can say it.
Oh boy, yeah.
Oh wow, look at that.
How beautiful that looks.
Very bready.
Definitely.
That's a bread.
Yeah, so this has mirepoix, right, which is carrots, celery, and onions. A little bit of breakfast sausage, salt, pepper, a little bit of butter, and some toasted breadcrumbs. Yeah, like kind of torn, bigger chunks of breadcrumbs. Awesome. And it's sourdough bread, so we should get a little bit of that flavor as well. But it's been wet down a little bit with some of those turkey drippings. Okay. So we'll get some of that flavor in there as well. But I love the addition of breakfast sausage in this dish. And you know, I like the contrasting textures, right? You're going to have those the vegetable textures, but you're also going to have like those really crunchy bits on the top of the stuffing, and then some of those softer sort of stock soaked bread on the bottom. Oh my gosh, this looks great, doesn't it? Oh my gosh, did you get some sausage in there too?
I did. I got some chunks here.
Okay, cool. Look how beautiful that looks. Oh wow. It's still steaming. That looks great. Those flavors really scream Thanksgiving to me. Yeah, turkey and mashed potatoes. You have those kinds of things maybe throughout the course of the year, but stuffing I really don't have unless it's on Thanksgiving. And boy, that is delicious. Wow. And the sausage sort of, and it's a breakfast sausage. It's got a little. It got that maybe maple flavor in there. Is that what you're getting?
Yeah, it's definitely sweet and caramelized.
That is delicious.
It's a hearty one.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, see, stuffing, I don't always have a huge portion of stuffing on Thanksgiving because
Right.
there's so much stuff, right?
So much of it.
So you want to save room for everything. So I always try it, but I don't ever have too much of it.
Yeah, and for that reason, because of the intensity of it, I definitely want to go with the red because it's so hearty. And the question is, like, I'm looking kind of at the future menu and seeing how these are going to kind of play out. I think for this one, I'm going to go with a Diamond Cabernet.
Cool.
I have two choices I could do with, Claret, or I could do what we call our Ivory Label or our Diamond Cabernet.
Okay.
So two Cabernets in the same family.
Okay.
I think the main difference is that this one has more of a toasty oak tone. It's a little bit blue fruits. The Cabernet has more of like a kind of a lighter tone. It's got some spicy characters, a little vanilla, strawberries and things like that. So kind of a friendly Cabernet. So I think I'm gonna go with this one, the Ivory here.
Nice.
We've been doing this for a long time. It's recognizable as well. It's doing great right now in terms of how everybody's enjoying it.
Yeah.
This one, 18 finish. This is the 18 finish.
Excellent.
So let me get this all set
And
for
this
you.
Cabernet is really ready to drink, right? I mean,
Yes.
It's very approachable right out of the bottle, huh?
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. That's a good point, Chef. So all the wines that we produce are intended to be ready to go right when you buy them.
I love that.
So there's no real reason to like cellar it for a long time.
Okay.
Cabernet, also, like I mentioned, Chardonnay is a very popular varietal. Cabernet is extremely popular. One of the most recognizable requested varietals. Versatile,
Yeah.
has a lot of, our sourcing is from California, so the California wine. It has all of like it showcases what we do here in California in terms of having nice weather, pretty much off that we take for granted almost. And yeah, I think that this is gonna like stand up to the large amount of flavor that we're getting from the dish.
Yeah. Definitely.
I think that Cabernet is a good choice for your friends and your family.
Yeah.
People are familiar with it.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
yeah,
I love that, you have the confidence and the know-how to pair a big kind of bold red with a side dish.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to necessarily be the star of the plate,
Right.
a side dish like this. And I'm getting some good black pepper out of that stuffing too, which I think.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely like Cabernet is known for having a little like black pepper or white pepper tone, and they're similar.
Yeah.
That spice, I think, is something that people can recognize and pull out of the wine.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah. Boy, that's
very
an
good.
excellent call. Yeah. That's delicious wine, delicious stuffing. And this would go great. What do some people cook, I guess, besides turkey on Thanksgiving?
Well, I guess ham?
Ham or prime rib, do people do? Or is that more of a Christmas, I guess?
Definitely Christmas for
Yeah.
sure. But like, I mean, I think that one time somebody, and I won't say who it was, but basically somebody suggested we were gonna have fish with Thanksgiving, and I was like, no, I don't want fish. But I mean, pretty much like there's a lot of fowl or like things that you can have.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I've heard of those ones where you put like the duck and the turkey and the chicken all together or whatever.
That's right. Yeah.
I've heard of those, and I think that's you know, a spectrum, but yeah, I mean, sure, whatever works for you guys.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And crab, I tried to pull that one year.
Did it work out?
Crab. Well, yeah, we did it, but it was the last year we did it. My wife was like kind of a traditional dish.
It was a one-time thing, right?
Yeah, but boy, it was good while it lasted. Speaking of ham, like a honey glazed ham, if there's guests out there going to be enjoying a ham, what kind of wine would you recommend with that?
Well, I mean, if it's one of those ones where it's like super sugary, I would recommend something that's a little bit heavier on the palate.
Okay.
I mean, you can go all the way up to like a dessert wine spectrum, like a port, like we make a dessert wine. You can go all the way up to there.
Okay.
But I would definitely get something that's very bold. So maybe Petite Syrah or Syrah, or probably up in Zinfandel land. You know, those are the on the red spectrum of wines. It's definitely in the higher end, and maybe we hold up to that kind of thing.
Yeah, great suggestion. Oh boy. That is terrific.
Cool.
Great job.
Yeah.
That is wonderful.
Nice food.
Yeah, that is awesome. All right, next up, we're going to be doing a candied yam dish.
Okay.
So the way we made this is we basically, cut up the yams into couple inch by couple inch size pieces, and then we added that into a pot with some water, a little bit of salt, some sugar, and some honey, and sort of slowly cooked it, allowing the moisture to cook off over a long period of time, multiple hours. And then what's left is this beautiful sort of mash, like almost a smash, if you will, of these yams that have, just really great sweetness and great earthiness from the yams. And another classic dish for your Thanksgiving table. And this would be another dish that maybe people can make different ways. You can see it's topped with a little cinnamon. And you can certainly, I think people put marshmallows maybe on this dish, but we're going to have it sort of just presented very simply and beautifully like this. It's got that great texture.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We had marshmallows in the past on this one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
There we go. Hope you like that, Evan.
And like a lot of salt.
Yeah. A little sweet and salty kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That looks delicious.
Oh, wow. Kind of like, a warm up for pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
Squashes.
That's a good way to put it. I love that. Piping hot. Oh, man. And I really like the honey. I think the honey adds an interesting flavor to it, not just that sweetness. Definitely like a lot of floral notes I'm getting from that honey, and that that sweetness that comes when you slow cook these root vegetables, when all those natural sugars have a chance to come out. But that's a great side. I really love that.
And like when you're looking at the food, the sweetness kind of jumps out at you.
Yeah.
So to cut the sweetness, I'm thinking of something that has like a little bit more acidity.
Okay.
It's not as heavy as like a pumpkin pie or sweet as a pumpkin pie. So it definitely has a little bit of different ways you can go with it.
Okay.
And one of the things I want to showcase here is one of the things we're really proud of is actually our rosé.
Nice.
I think that, okay, so with rosé, with this particular one, the base of it is from Pinot Noir.
Okay.
So Pinot Noir, we mentioned it before, like, good with turkey, good with mashed potatoes, good with kind of like a round Thanksgiving flavors.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with this one just because it's kind of like a more acidic version of Pinot Noir.
Oh, cool.
And I think that cutting through some of this honey might work.
Yeah.
So let's just see let's see what happens.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Part of like all this stuff though is like trying different things and being kind of like experimental.
Right.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think I told somebody this recently. I forget who it was, but they asked me, it's like, well, if you're a winemaker, what is the closest job that's closest to what you do and how you look at it?
Question.
And I If you're gonna go like, am I an engineer? No. I'd actually say chef. Chef is like probably one of the things because it's obviously like very food oriented. It's got a lot of artistry and
thank you. Yeah, I love that.
Kind of like creativity.
Yes. Definitely.
So I'd say that when you're pairing your meals, don't be as afraid and don't get in your head that there's like a wrong answer. That's not true.
Yeah.
It's all preference based, so it's all what you feel.
Yeah.
You know, the feelings are okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to feel. I feel like Pinot goes with this. Go with it.
I love
Embrace
that.
it.
Yeah. Boy,
Okay, so this
so
is
refreshing to hear a winemaker say
yeah, no,
that,
I mean,
right?
I don't have like there's not a rule book, you know. So I think that with this one, once again, I'm focusing on the brightness of it in terms of acidity.
It's not overly sweet.
You're right. So it has that acid pop, right? So I'm thinking about maybe the honey and that.
Yeah.
And I
this has some floral notes too, doesn't
yeah,
it?
it's got a minerality to it, like a flinkiness. It kind of reminds me of kind of a little guava or kind of on stone fruit or something like that.
And how does it get that beautiful color?
Oh, that's a great question. So rosé in general is made from red grapes. Okay, so you make Points of Midel or rosé. So you can make a rosé from a lot of different red varietals. What we found is that Pinot Noir and Grenache and Syrah and some of these other guys, they're very good at having that fruit pop and a little bit of color. So basically what you do is you harvest it as a red grape and then you treat it like a white wine because it goes right into the press. It separates the skins and the seeds. And
almost instantly, huh?
Almost instantly, and the color comes from just a little bit of skin contact from those red grapes.
Wow.
So you can't make a red wine or a rosé from Chardonnay, obviously.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's always from something that's red, treated like a white.
Oh wow, that's
so
cool.
with this one, I think it's it's definitely like the minerality, like a little bit of that kind of I mean between the combination of the citrus notes and the kind of riper notes, maybe some yellow fruits as well. Whether those be bananas or whatnot, they tend to kind of all come out in this like kind of broad spectrum of fruit, and just the acidity I really like. So I think that it cuts through the yams pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely. Boy, that's a winner right there. That rosé is very versatile on the Thanksgiving table too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Would go with a lot of these things.
It works.
Yeah, love it.
Cool.
Nicely done. That is terrific. All right, moving right along.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll take your empties there.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's delicious. All right. Next up, this one's pretty straightforward here, Evan.
Okay.
We're gonna do rolls and butter. So I'm curious to see what you're thinking on this one. Okay. So we have a couple different rolls. These are sort of a pull apart. So I'm gonna a little pull apart roll. Looking good. I'm gonna allow you the honors to pull one of those off of there for yourself.
Okay.
Give you a plate right there. Nicely. And then here are some sort of a buttermilk roll.
Okay.
I love that nice dark cook on that. That's beautiful. We always used to have the Pepperidge Farm rolls as a kid, like kind of the little rectangular ones, I think their shape was. And boy, were they good. Here's a little butter. Should be just about soft. Rolls are great on the Thanksgiving table, aren't they? Yeah, if you got any extra gravy laying around, it's a great opportunity to sop that up. Thanks. So what are you thinking right off the bat with something sort of as simple as a roll and butter?
Well, I mean, it's obviously bread. I mean, it's probably one of the most broad spectrum things you can work with. I mean, so you can pretty much go with anything.
I love that.
You know, I think that here, let's try it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a honey note.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Now, do you keep salted butter in the fridge, or do you keep unsalted butter in the
We've
fridge?
done margarine, unsalted and salted.
A little of everything.
Oh.
Yeah. You need it. You got to be ready for anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With something like that, it's not. I mean, it's bread, so it's not like incredibly gonna blow you out of the water in terms of flavor, in terms of heartiness, flavor. So I'm gonna go with something that's really kind of mainstream
Okay.
and versatile. I'm gonna go with Merlot.
Nice. Love that.
Love that.
That's a great call.
Okay, let's go with that. Merlot is a versatile grape. It kind of likes colder weather opposed to Cabernet.
Okay.
It's grown pretty much everywhere, and it's definitely something that's had a debated history in the wine industry. But I think that one of the things about Merlot that I really like is it's got a lot of berries, and it's got a lot of like fruitiness to it. It's not overly tannic. I mean, it's not drying on the palate. It's definitely versatile. So I think that something that's not having to stand up to like a huge steak or something that's gigantic in terms of flavor. I think that Merlot is kind of like a good crowd-pleasing wine. So let's try this out.
Another great bottle for the Thanksgiving table.
Yeah. And we've been doing this Merlot. We've been doing Merlot for a long time.
Okay.
This is a California appellation, so we get a lot of it from Central Valley, from Monterey. We get it from pretty much a lot of different places, and we select it for its concentration. We really go for color.
Okay.
So let's try this out.
Yeah, it is a dark, rich color, isn't it?
Yeah. It's definitely, it's kind of like a middle ground. It's not like a Petite Syrah dark, but it's not like a Pinot light.
Gotcha.
It's kind of the middle.
Yeah. Okay.
Very fruity.
You are good at what you do, Evan. Man,
This is a
fun to
17.
Hang out with you and do this.
That's fun.
Oh yeah.
Very versatile.
Well-rounded, balanced, great fruit.
Has quite a bit of oak though too.
Good point. I can almost see in it being like a little peanut butter and jelly type flavors going on in my mouth with this sort of dark roasted roll here. A sip of that.
Definitely. It's coming off as being dense in terms of fruit flavor, and the oak is kind of shining through, so kind of stands up to the butter.
Yeah, that's good.
Very good.
That's
I mean,
really
you can have that with whatever is next after with the bread, right?
That's true.
You're gonna have something else.
Yeah, that's true. So go up in gravy. I bet you that would be great. Awesome.
Cool. Thank you.
Good deal. That was fun. Bread and butter. All right, next up we're going to do a couple of sides, and I think we'll do them at the same time. I'll try to keep them socially distanced on the plate here.
Okay.
We're going to do a little Brussels sprouts, and we're going to do a little bit of cream corn. So here we have these beautiful roasted Brussels sprouts. So we rendered out that apple smoked bacon.
Okay.
And then we quickly blanched in boiling salted water, just for about a minute or so, the Brussels sprouts. And then sort of finished it all in a pan together, just so like that bacon fat had a chance to coat those Brussels sprouts, and also allows the Brussels sprouts to get a little caramelization, which I really love when those Brussels sprouts get a nice sear on them.
Yeah. Are they like, they're not like the firmness, because they start off super hard, right?
Yeah, they're definitely pretty hard and dense.
But like as you cook them, you're kind of looking for that kind of middle ground. You don't want them like super mushy where they're falling apart, but you want them like, so some crispness, but like kind of like not falling apart.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You want them to still kind of hold together, and I really like vegetables with some texture, a little bit of bite to them. But you know, you don't want them too hard.
Right.
You want that cabbage to have a little bit of a chance to kind of get soft.
One of my biggest problems when I'm doing like when I have like a big cast iron skillet and I'm doing a lot of like, you know, green beans and zucchini and Brussels sprouts and all of those kind of harder vegetables, is that like I kind of get to the right point and it keeps going. It keeps cooking and gets too mushy. So you have to kind of like time it perfectly.
Yeah,
right?
with the cast iron.
Yeah,
it sure does hold that heat, doesn't it? You know, I usually try to take that into account. To your point, like I'll try to cut it just a little bit early.
A little early, right?
So kind of carry those cast iron pans really hold that heat for a long time. But that's good. Good to use the cast iron pans. Those are really the best. Okay, here we go.
Cool, thank you.
Brussels sprouts, creamed corn. Which one do you want to try first, or which one do you want to pair first?
You know, let's see. I'm just trying a little bit of both and see what happens here.
Okay.
See what we think.
I love creamed corn.
Yeah, so you got it. You got it good on the Brussels sprouts because it's not. It's still crisp.
A little bit of texture there. Nice smokiness and richness from the bacon. Wow.
And ideally, we're gonna get some wine that is gonna go with both.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Is there any I missed the recipe. Is there any kind of acid in there, like any kind of vinegar that you put in there?
Not really. No, there actually isn't any acid in there. Yeah. That one may have been a little, maybe nice to bring a little brightness to it all.
Right. I'm just curious because sometimes I use vinegar, like rice wine, or rice vinegar, or a balsamic or something with when I'm doing like a stir fry or a cast iron thing. But I was curious because this one it still has like a lot of intense flavor and love
that's
it.
Pretty good. I think we're doing all right out there on this Thanksgiving menu so far. Are we missing anything out there, everybody? What do you like to have on your table that we're missing? Because I know this is a lot of fun. Got my wheels turning for my Thanksgiving at the house.
I go something like kind of in the middle. Different ways we can go with this. I'm gonna go with something that's a little bit heartier because there's you got bacon notes, you got the sweetness of the corn. It's like an intense flavor kind of profile. So I kind of have it. The ones we haven't tried that could possibly match up with this. We have a Diamond Red, which is a red wine blend, which has a lot of Petit Verdot in it. Zinfandel and Syrah and a Malbec. And I think that what I'm going to go with on this one is going to be something that probably more people are comfortable with and in trying, and maybe they've tried a Zinfandel before. But I think I'm going to go with the Zinfandel on this one just because it's a lot of flavor, and I think that this also has a lot of flavor. So let me open this up. So here's our Zinfandel. Zinfandel's California, like all the other California wines. There's some wines that are in the Diamond program that are Appellation specific, but this is a California one. Zinfandel is known for a lot of things. It's a very large grape. I don't know if you know this, but it's a big grapevine, like physically. It's very large. And it's impressive.
Don't they ripen at different times too?
Yeah, there's a lot of we could talk about Zinfandel for like 30 minutes if you want to. So basically, Zinfandel is a large, physically large grapevine. It's got large clusters. It's got a lot of flavor. It does have uneven ripening that you're talking about.
Which can be challenges or
very challenging,
because the levels of sweetness and level of acidity can vary from berry to berry, huh?
If you had to take it home, I'd say that, or the take-home message would be, Zinfandel isn't for the faint of heart. It's a bold grape. You have to embrace it. Yeah. So Zinfandel, like, you know, there's some manufacturers or some people in the wine industry that make wines that are like incredibly high alcohol. But the good thing about this Zinfandel is for anyone who's out there who wants a Zinfandel that's at the more moderate alcohol level. This is something definitely to try.
Oh, cool.
It's not above 16. This is actually around 14% alcohol, so 35. Nice. So I've been doing this for a very long time.
Yeah.
Mostly from Lodi and the North Coast. Very kind of spicy rum raisin. Yeah, very intense. I kind of like how the there's a little bit of American oak and French oak in there.
Okay.
And it's a lot of sweetness from that, and it maybe a little bit with the corn. And it's very bold. So
I think that's going to go great with those Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
And the bacon. Are Brussels sprouts one of those vegetables that are just sort of historically challenging to pair? It's like artichokes, asparagus,
I think so.
And
I think you're right.
Yeah, kind of has a unique flavor.
Yeah, I mean, because Brussels sprouts, having it less cooked or something like that, the more challenging it gets. But like when I usually do them like what you're saying, like caramelize them, they tend to do better.
Definitely, yeah. Helps add to the complexity of the flavors, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that definitely works with the Brussels sprouts.
Cool.
Yeah, nice. Boy, those are a couple of good sides, huh? It's just fun to have all these different dishes separately, you know, because at Thanksgiving time I usually have this pile with all, 10 or 12 different things on there. So this is fun to kind of taste them individually. Yeah, boy, that was good.
I'll get your, you want to get your wine so you don't have too much clutter.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
We still have some more to go.
Yeah, there's about 8 more. We got the duck course coming, quail.
Only 16 more.
Yeah. Well, that was it for the savory courses. So now we have a couple of sweet dishes to finish off this experience. So once again, everybody out there, I hope you're enjoying yourselves and learning a thing or two. And please let us know in the comments what we're doing wrong, what we're doing right, and what you'd like to have on your Thanksgiving table. So we're going to finish it up with this gorgeous pumpkin pie here. Sourced from one of our awesome local bakers right there. And we also have something called ambrosia.
Ooh.
You know what that is? Have you ever had this?
I've had it. Some of my family line, it comes from Indiana. So that was a big thing, that ambrosia.
Yeah.
It was a big thing.
Yeah, that is an interesting dish. It's a salad. I don't know if you can tell by looking at it.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's a fruit salad right here. And what we have in here is canned pineapples, canned mandarin oranges, canned fruit cocktail, some sweetened toasted coconut, walnuts, Cool Whip, a little bit of mayonnaise.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I think that's it. And some maraschino cherries, of course.
Is there any marshmallow in there?
There is. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Marshmallow?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of marshmallows in there too. Yeah. So that's my kind of salad. I think that's going to be pretty good right there.
When I went to college, my mom told me I had to eat something green. So I said, "Oh, don't worry, I'll have some salad."
There we go. Get a little ambrosia going. So I love to. Do you like pumpkin pie?
I do.
Okay.
And you like I mentioned before, pumpkin cheesecake.
Ooh.
That's it right there.
Oh my gosh.
And like pumpkin pie though is like a strong number 2 or even number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's like another one of those things that I really only eat exclusively on Thanksgiving. So it sure is fun. Something like one of those dishes that I really look forward to. I'm going to put a little bit of this glorious.
I'm definitely going to have to go on a run.
You have to run home?
I'm going to have to run home.
Run home and then run back to work tomorrow, huh? So this is, boy, that is really a beloved dish. in lots of parts of the country right there, the ambrosia salad.
Do you have
There you go. Oh yeah, we need a little of this, don't we?
Yeah.
Whipped cream. My son likes to just when I shoot it right in his mouth. you want a shot, or you good?
Whatever you feel like.
Yeah.
Surprise me.
All right. There we go.
Oh, there we
Just
are.
a little.
Cool.
Just a little.
Oh, look at that.
Just a little.
You're spoiling me.
Yeah, you can't skimp
Okay.
on the whipped cream, that's for sure. All right, look at that.
Yeah, my family tried to teach me manners in which I don't eat before everybody's ready.
Yeah.
Actually, technically, it was when my mom was ready. So like, you know, she serves everybody because she's doing a great job, and like everybody has to like sit down and like stare at their food for like, I don't know, like 45 to 2 minutes.
Torturous.
And like you're sitting there staring at your food, and I'm staring at it right now, and I'm waiting. I'm trying to be polite.
I'm impressed. That is some stellar restraint right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What do you think? Looks pretty good, huh?
Yeah, definitely. Nice backdrop too.
Yeah.
The winery.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, the sun's about to go down.
Yeah.
It's almost 3 o'clock. Oh.
Another beautiful day out here in Sonoma County, huh?
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
You tried the ambrosia?
Oh yeah. It's a lot more like spicy, like pumpkin spicy than like I was used to more of like almost like a Jello thing, like there's a Jello there, like marshmallows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But this is like really fruity and nice. It's it's got nice acid to it.
Yeah. And you're right. Yeah, there is. I put a little bit of cinnamon and nutmeg in there.
Okay, cool.
I forgot to mention. Yeah, so you're definitely picking up on those.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow. Walnuts. And coconut.
Yeah, they add a little toasty component. Great texture in that salad too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Salad.
I just want another salad. I'm gonna definitely like lock that into my memory. This is technically a salad.
I think so. Absolutely. Yeah. And the pumpkin pie.
Okay. Oh wow.
That is a good way to end.
So like with pumpkin pie, did you guys always like make your own, or did you ever buy it?
I think my
To be
mom, I think she would buy it out there.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
She bought it sometimes.
I think she would definitely
Okay.
buy it. Yeah.
Okay. Which is nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Yeah.
Can't argue with it.
Yeah. That is good. What a great way to end the Thanksgiving. Great meal here. Isn't
So
it?
here's another question.
Yes.
If you're gonna go back for seconds,
Yep.
based off what we just had,
Oh,
what's your
man.
seconds?
That is an awesome question, because that's really going to tell you.
Yeah,
where your
I need
favorites
to
were.
know. I need
If
to
you're
know.
stuffed to the gills, you're like, I can squeeze
Okay,
it a little.
let's say hypothetical. Hypothetical is that you have plenty of room.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Ooh.
it's not about like room.
Yeah.
It's not about calories or whatever.
Okay.
If you could choose one more dish,
Ooh.
which one would you choose?
I'm going mashed potatoes.
Nice.
Can I have 4 things on this
Yeah,
one
you
dish?
can do whatever you want. Surprise us.
Small plate, mashed potatoes, dark meat. I love that cream corn, and gravy.
It's really all about seconds, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's where you got to dig deep. What about you? What would you like to revisit?
Even though it's gonna bite me like later on, I'm gonna say just like the turkey's like what I associate everything with. So I think I'm probably gonna go back with dark meat,
Okay.
turkey,
Yeah.
and then with that, probably mashed potatoes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's such a combo.
If I had to choose one,
Yeah.
it might be that.
Yeah.
And then, honestly, I'm really surprised at myself, but I might want to go for another, like, huge spoonful of ambrosia.
Yes,
I might. I mean, 'cause I'm not an ambrosia guy.
Yeah.
It's just I'm surprised at myself. But I'm just
Yeah.
like so kind of entranced by like how many different flavors there are. So it's
Yeah.
just very. It's just a combination of the coconut and the citrus and all the marshmallow and everything else. It's just it kind of comes together really nicely, and I
Yeah.
really like that kind of spice that you have with the cinnamon.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting dish.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't, even though I said it's cheating, even though
Yeah.
I said that I couldn't like, or we're not counting how heavy the dish is, like the stuffing.
Right.
It's like, it's just so big. It's just
Yeah.
so, kind of like heavy, like I don't know if I could do a lot more of that. So yeah, I think I'd probably go with like seconds of turkey. And then maybe some ambrosia if I had possibly the room.
I love that.
Okay.
That's so cool.
And so like since it's so sweet though, like it's really kind of hard to pair for wine.
Yeah, what do you think?
So there's like two different ways to go. You can go like a contrast method where you're like cutting through sugar and heaviness with acid, or you can try to embrace the sugar and try to go something with super huge and try to kind of come to the same level.
Okay.
In this spectrum of wines, they're all dry, so they're not, they don't, like, I don't have a port here, for example, like one of our dessert wines that we make, and I don't have something that's like over the top in terms of like hardiness of sweetness or something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
So for that reason, I'm gonna try to cut through the sugar a little bit more.
Okay.
And for that, I wanna try something that's also hugely popular,
Yeah.
that people should probably be familiar with. So I'm gonna actually go with a white.
Okay.
And so of our whites, we haven't tried two. We haven't tried the Pinot Grigio. We haven't tried the Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay.
Sauvignon Blanc's known for having a little bit more of like almost like a grassiness or bell pepper mixed in with tangerines and some melons and things like that.
Okay.
Pinot Grigio is known for its pure acid. It's very like a poolside wine. Okay, so it's very like crisp and very kind of like lower alcohol.
Okay. Real refreshing.
Yeah, refreshing, definitely.
Okay.
So for that reason, like I want to do the contrast method. I'm gonna go like the two opposites kind of meet together.
Cool.
So I'm gonna go with the Pinot Grigio.
Nice.
So we also tried a Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay.
We tried it in the can.
Okay.
And so they're kind of sister wines.
Okay.
So I want to try something you haven't tried yet.
I love it.
So let's try this.
That sounds great. What a great job going through a bunch of these
The logic
wines.
of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm not just throwing things at you. No, I'm just like say, like like the corollary or the closest profession probably to winemaking is being a chef.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of thought, like so you sit down, like you have all these courses and like every little thing is thought out, and the timing, it's just it's definitely
that's true.
Yeah. So with this, like I thought about this a lot, and I think that this is another versatile varietal. Pinot Grigio or Pinot Gris, like depending on two different styles, but basically it's something that I think people kind of gravitate towards. The color on this is very nice. It's kind of clear.
Wow.
Kind of like
so
it smells like grapefruit.
Definitely.
Like maybe a pink grapefruit.
Wow. Boy, that is delicious.
So I'm hoping that acid kind of cuts through some of the sugar.
Ooh, boy, it is real bright.
Yeah.
That is delicious. Oh,
Yeah,
I think you're right
it's
on
like
there.
it kind of like almost cleanses your palate for the next bite, right? So you have a bite of something like this, you have a little sip of that,
Oh, man.
cleanses your palate, go to the next one.
That is spectacular. Boy, that's one of my favorite pairings all day. That is amazing.
Really?
I mean, they were all spectacular, but that, I like that.
Because I could have gone the other way. I could have gone like something super heavy.
Yeah,
But
that's true. No, I think
It's like the polar thing, right?
I think that for me.
Opposites attract.
That is spot on. I like that.
I feel like sometimes you like that, like exploration, like if it's something that you weren't expecting.
Definitely.
Yeah, you like that.
That happens a lot with you guys. I mean, I'd say at least half the pairings, every episode, I'm just like, wow.
Someone comes out of left field.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are just so talented. Well, Evan, I can't thank you enough. I mean, I
Yeah,
love
thank you.
doing this with you. Your, your explanations of the wine and your thought process behind the pairings are just always so knowledgeable. So I just loved being here with you today. So thank you so much. I am thankful for you and thankful for our incredible winemaking team that makes this awesome wine for us and our amazing fans out there to enjoy. So happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. And everybody out there watching, I hope you have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. And hope you get on the website and order up some of these amazing wines and enjoy all this fantastic food that we prepared today.
Definitely. I'm not going to be traveling. I'll be kind of around here. But if anyone's traveling, stay safe, and kind of echoing what you're saying, like just go with your gut and have some fun.
Yeah. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Thanks, Evan.
Cool.
Cheers to you and your family, and cheers to everybody out there. Happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you the next time.
Cheers.
Thank you.